Hello Slash friends, this is my Dust Devils build on the Barbarian, and despite the nerfs you'll see that it's quite powerful, tanky and very efficient. I'll give you everything that you need to know, and if you like the content don't forget to subscribe. As usual, I'll start this video by how it works, and you'll be generating Dust Devils with your shots. Rallying Cry, Challenging Shot and War Cry. And of course this one will give you berserking, some damage, this one for the life and the fury, and this one in order to be unstoppable. You'll be using Leap in order to get some damage reduction with the aspect, and also for the mobility and the fury generation with another aspect. You must be using a two-handed bludgeoning weapon because you want to stun your enemies when you use your Leap. It will proc with this passive and will be very efficient, especially at high level of pit. There's also something else that you need to know about this passive, but I'll come back later to this on the gear part. Then you want to generate Dust Devils with double swing, and you want this ultimate in order to boost your damage. For the skill tree you just put 2 points in order to unlock double swing and put 5 points here, and the fact that you'll make enemies vulnerable. You also want 3 points for the life and 3 points for the damage reduction, and 1 point here for the fury generation. You want 1 point in order to bleed enemies which are attacking you, and this one in order to grant you fury when you cast your shot. Then for the War Cry you want to have this one giving you some increased damage, and 1 point on the leap with the fury boost. You also want 3 points for the mobility, 3 points for the fury generation and damage reduction while berserking, 3 points just here in order to increase damage to close enemies, and you can put the remaining point to give you 35 when you are hit. Then you want to have 3 points in order to increase your attack speed with one-handed weapon, and healing every time that you spend 100 fury. You also want the ultimate with the passives and the concussion passive in order to stun your enemies when you use Leap. That means that when you leap into a pack of enemies, they will be stunned with the concussion passive. For the K passive, you want the berserking damage and duration. For the Paragon you want to get increased critical strike damage and also to generate fury. Then you want to have here 45 when you use fury and this glyph in order to increase damage with berserking. Then you'll want to get just here in order to have increased damage with your Dust Devils, and you want to have the passive increasing your attack speed. At the top of it you want to have this legendary node. When you swap your weapons it will grant you furies, and after that this glyph in order to grant you some damage reduction and damage when fortified. You can also get this node which will grant you 10% damage when you make an enemy vulnerable. Then you want finally to reach here in order to increase your damage to close enemies, and to have this node which will give you 30% of damage bonus. If you want instead of territorial, you can also go for the martial one. If you're doing some speed farming, it will help you to always have your leap and your ultimate ready. Now for the gear on your helm you want to get life, strength, cooldown reduction, cooldown for your shot and some maximum life for the temper. You also want some armor on the aspect. For the armor you want to have life strength, some resistances to all elements, maximum life and also some cooldown reduction. For the aspect you want the fact that when you use leap you'll have an earthquake providing up to 25% of damage reduction. Then for the gloves you want to have increased attack speed with a critical strike with your core skill, and you want critical strike chance rank to double swing, strength or critical damage, and then damage while berserking or damage with dual wielded weapons. Then for the pants you want Thibaut for the damage and the fury generation, and for the boots you want to extend the duration of berserking. Then you want some movement speed, strength, life, cooldown reduction on leap and movement speed. On this part, if you want, you can also consider something else with the concussion passive, because it will help you to stun your enemies when you're using leap, meaning that when you leap on a pack of monsters it will directly stun them. This is this passive, and it will be very helpful when you start reaching the pit at 100 and more. Then for the weapons you'll want strength, maximum life and critical strike damage. It's a bit better to have life instead of damage because we have a special aspect on the amulet, and then you want damage while berserking, chance for Dust Devils to cast twice, and also Dust Devil size. Make sure to have 100% of AoE effect because you cannot have more now, and also to always be at 15 Dust Devils. Because it's the same, you cannot have more than 15 now. For the aspect you want Dust Devils with double swing, with 100 fury, with your shots, and the last one boosting your damage based on your fury amount. For the rings, you'll want critical strike chance, damage, and you also want resource generation and damage while breathtaking. For the aspect, you want cooldown of leap and cooldown of your shots. Finally, for the amulet, this one will be very good if you want to be very tanky, because you'll healed based on your maximum life. On it, you'll want strength, life, critical strike chance, damage while berserking, and warcry cooldown reduction. Thanks for watching this video, and don't forget that as usual you have the builder on the link below the video in the associated article.